So I said to the woman, well, being associated with Arthur Scargill is like wearing a badge of honour. It's my privilege to introduce to you one of the finest campaigners and the finest trade unionists I've ever met. Ladies and gentlemen, give a good hand to Arthur Scargill.
All comrades, friends, tonight you've heard two speeches as well as the comments of the chairman. The speech by Nick, for example, highlighted many of the issues that affect a lot of people in this room. He talked, for example, about the theft from the mine workers' pension scheme of billions of pounds that ought to be paid to all ex-mine workers who are on pension, or in many cases to their widows. He was absolutely right. It was an act of treachery, utter betrayal by the Labour leadership, who promised me in front of witnesses that when they took power, they would redress the situation and pay back every penny that had been stolen by the Tory government. And I tell you this tonight, he was absolutely right. They stole that money and are continuing to steal money which belongs to mine workers. The speech by our youth representative, Andrew, gives me hope. There's a lot of people who talk about young people no longer being interested in politics, no longer being interested in issues that really matter, no consideration for the environment, no thought about what is happening in the third world. And yet tonight, you've heard a young man speak from the heart about how education is now having to be paid for by the parents and by the youngsters themselves if they're even going to have a slim chance of advancement. I think what came out clearly from Andrew was the hypocrisy of people like Blair and Brown. Yes, and the rest of that cabinet like Darling, who all went through university free of charge. Well, if it was good enough for them, it's good enough for these young people as well.